Joining me on the 24th floor today, in person, no Zoom guest, no digital, Mr. First Team All Defense, the Grindfather, the originator of Grit and Grind, Tony Allen, former Memphis Grizzlies lockdown defender, current podcast host, in case you didn't know. TA, my guy, what's happening?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Happy to have you on the show. You are certainly a legend in this city. I know a lot has been kind of going on with you, but just as you've been going on the last couple of weeks, going up to this retirement, you know, what's kind of been your thoughts and feelings, man?
Oh, man, got the jitters, butterflies, man. Hands get sweaty when we even bring it up. But for the most part, I'm enjoying the experience. I'm enjoying the flowers. I'm enjoying everybody, you know, showing love. I'm getting text messages every day from people, you know, either telling me they can't make it or telling me they on their way, you know what I mean? So it's been fun, man. I'm actually ready for it to get started.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you've been in Memphis a long time, been a part of a lot of big plays. We do a segment on this show called The Big Idea, and you're our big idea today. The Big Idea, Tony Allen's jersey will go into the rafters, joining his teammates Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol. Allen played 7 years for the Memphis Grizzlies, helped them get to the playoffs 6 times, and took them to the Western Conference Finals. He was named NBA's All-Defensive Team 6 times and was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. So, Tony, I know you've known this is coming, but you have had a chance to kind of digest some of this. When you look back on the things of your career and you know that your jersey's going into the rafters, what has kind of come to mind? You know, you talk about getting your flowers.
I mean, just a lot of those long nights, you know, going late nights to the gym, getting up early, having to, you know, take care of your body, getting in that weight room, you know, being around the trainers for nagging injuries, but always fighting through the process. I always understanding that, you know, this 110% grit and grind motto that I carry, I got to live that. I got to be a part of playing with some of the greats like Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Mike Conley. And those days were really days that, you know, you had to actually come out there and put on your hard hat, you know, and go out there and work. And just that process itself, it was, some days were better than others, but one thing I didn't do, I never gave up. I always stayed motivated. And, man, just thinking back, man, just in the grit and grind era, man, when I first got here, it didn't feel like this was like the town to be at, you know, when you compare it to the big cities like Chicago, New York, things of that nature. But what I always loved about it was the Southern hospitality, you know, that blue-collar mindset. And I was like, you know what, this fit me. Yeah. And so one thing that I always did was I always gave it 110%, man. I always came ready to work. And that mindset carried along the way of a fan base that followed right behind it. So, man, it got me thinking back, man. So, but I love it, man. Memphis is what is home for me, and the moment I got here, like I said, man, I felt this was the fit.
Yeah. When you look back on your career, obviously a lot of really cool moments, but does anything in particular like really stick out? Maybe something that a lot of people wouldn't even think about when they think about the success of your career. Maybe it's a little thing.
Oh man. You know, just like I said, when I first got here, I didn't play much. You know?
Yeah.
It was times where, you know, I could have easily just got discouraged and said, you know what, the hell with this. You know, I got my bag. That's that. Let me just focus on doing some other things. And I didn't do that. I knew it was more in store. I knew I had more to show. And then leaving the finals in 2009, 2010 season, it was like, yo, I had a lot of basketball left for me, man. And I looked dead into our roster that we had specifically that year, you know, being alongside Rudy Gay, obviously Zach Randolph and Mike and Mark, but even OJ, you know, I felt like we were a team to be reckoned with. And one thing that stood out that I really, you know, honored was just how well the organization, you know, was ran. You know what I mean? I was understanding that, you know, that we hadn't won we hadn't won a playoff game until the franchise was over.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what, I want to be a part of changing that mindset. Let's get there. Not only let's get there, let's make some noise. Let's change the narrative on how people come into our building. You know what I mean? You're not about to come in here and just X us for win.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to come in. You're going to have to get your rest.
No resting your starters.
No.
Memphis.
You're going to have to come in here, man, get your rest, eat well, and be ready for a long live battle. And just I don't know, that excitement that we brought as a core four, that'll be the biggest standout.
So you've been here for the retirements of Zebo and for Marcus Gasol. You've been a part of those kind of those ceremonies, the hanging out, the talking about the old times. What do you think will be different about your jersey retirement than what we saw with Zebo and Mark?
Oh man, it'd be something similar, I believe, but more so importantly, you know, I was always like the character on the team.
Yeah.
I was the jokester, man, you know, so I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of memories to bring up. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring up a lot of the hee-hees and ha-has is what I call them, you know. And we're going to have a fun, man. It's a celebration, like I say, not just for me, but for all of us, man, because we put in so much work together as a team, man, and we did everything together, on and off the court, man. It was just like we were brothers, you know, and we are brothers, but I'm just saying, like, you'd have thought, like, man, like, the chemistry on the court and off the court, it meshed just so well. And so I'm looking forward to seeing those guys. And big shout out to Mike Conley, too, because I think he's going to actually fit that in his schedule, you know, in the grueling season that he got, man. So that just goes to show you, man, how tightly knitted we are.
Yeah, I remember for Marcus Gasol's retirement, Mike actually had a game that day, and it wasn't in Memphis. Like, they weren't playing the Timberwolves. So he actually got done with his game early on in the day and came and flew down that same day for Gasol. And so if he's doing that again for you, I think that just really speaks to just how glued together, you know, you guys were as teammates and as a team. When you were known for, you know, all heart, grit and grind, and that kind of came up. Did you think that would catch on the way that it did? It was just because it seemed like it was just kind of an in the moment kind of thing.
No, I really did, man. You know, I'm a guy that, you know, like I say, I prepare. I like planning from everything, whether it's getting ready for the game, I want to know what outfit I'm gonna just jump into, whether it's a route that I take to get to the game.
Sure.
I want to take that
routine.
Routine, pretty much. And a lot of people say I'm superstitious because if I don't do it that way, I'm the worst person to be around because I'm just used to routine, as you say. But specifically that day, man, I remember seeing my boy Rudy. Shout out to Rudy Gay. You got to get him up here. But,
hey, man, you set it up. We'll have Rudy on in a minute.
Yeah, but like I say, I always looked at Rudy Gay as one of those Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Carmelo type kind of prototypes. And specifically this day, I was looking for him to be matching up with KD, and I'm like, yo, y'all about to go at it. If you need a breather, I got you. But I'm going to be locking down James Harden. I got that. That's how I was feeling that day. And so with me preparing, I had this big old laptop, as you saw, on the dock.
On the dock.
And I played my music on it. You know, I'm listening to my music. And if I can recall back, I think the song "Some Type of Way" make you feel some type of way. So look, I'm talking about.
So you was feeling some type of way about guarding James Harden,
right? And had felt a whole nother type of way when I realized I had to guard Kevin Durant because I did no study for him. And you know, I just remember it like yesterday. I remember Coach coming in on the board about 38 on the clock, erasing the name, and as soon as he erased the name, he put my name. So by the time I looked down while I'm watching film on James Harden and listening to my rich homie Quan, I look back up, I say, "Hey, Rudy, you ain't playing?" And he like, no, he want me to be quiet, but you know, I'm a loud kind of guy.
Right.
So I was so hot, man. I literally tuned out everything Coach was drawing, with whatever we was going over on the board and looking at the clips that they was going. I knew the offense, and I just couldn't understand, like, how the hell do I gotta guard this 6'11" two guard? It's not in my pay grade, right?
Right.
It's a little above my pay grade. It's supposed to be the maxed out guy versus the maxed out guy. Man, when I tell you I got in that game, man, and I left it all on the court. I literally left it all on the court. I'm talking about from hitting shots to getting rebounds to getting steals to getting assists. And I wasn't scared. I wasn't afraid. I just said, you know what? If he gonna beat me, he gonna have to beat me. You know, and I live with the embarrassment. But after the game, I finished up. I think I had 27.7 rebounds, 5 steals.
Mm-hmm.
But
pretty good game.
Pretty good game. But Durant had his 40. He had his 40.
But that's how it goes with great players, right? They're going to get theirs. You just got to make it real hard.
And what surprised me about that at that time, like I say, Zebo had a monstrous game too. Yeah. So I was like, I'm at the game. I'm like, yo, I know he want to talk to Zebo.
Right,
he don't want to talk to me. But he was so surprised. I mean, I was so surprised that he was pointing at me. I'm like, me? And he picked me, and then I was ready to go back to the locker room and tell Rudy, all you gotta do is have some heart. It's just grit and grind. I was ready to tell Rudy that. I was preparing my mind to tell Rudy that. And
it just came out.
And it was like, yo, he's like, yo, what's up? I forgot the question. It's like, where does performance come from or something like that? And I just said, all heart, grit and grind. And before you knew it, man, hey, man, the whole city ran with it.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. And it's definitely something that the city has adopted. That moment that you talk about with KD is in the documentary that the team made in anticipation of your jersey retirement. We got a quick little clip from the documentary that premiered on Thursday. Take a listen.
The Boston Celtics select Tony Allen.
I just saw how hard he worked. I was like, damn.
And I'm a champion right now.
We blew it. He should have never been a Grizzly.
It's just all hard. Grit, grind.
Who he was, what Grizzlies were.
I think coming to Memphis, I kind of found a home. I'm going to go all the way out for what I'm riding with.
First team all defense.
And what I'm riding with is the Grizzlies. Yeah, they got to check that out, man.
So in anticipation of the jersey retirement, the Grizzlies put out a documentary, Tony Allen, the Grindfather. It covers your childhood, your time in college, and with the Celtics, and then, of course, your career here in Memphis. What did it mean to you to see everything about your life collected and put on film for anybody to be able to watch, and for you and your family to be able to take in?
Man, it was a lot that I got out of that, man. Just watching it, just seeing, my peers give me my flowers, man. And in this game that we play, the respect and that you get from your peers pretty much says a lot about who you are. So, and just seeing, my old coaches, speak so highly. I mean, I can't front. Like, it was flattering. It was humbling too, just to know that, they actually showed some love.
Yeah.
Man. Sometimes, with coaches, you like, damn, these guys, they hate my guts. But in reality, they love the fact that, they had the opportunity to coach me, and I thought it was a good thing. It was a great feeling. And, man, whoever ain't watched it, go check it out, man, because as tough as I am, as tough as I think I am, man, I end up teeing up a little bit doing the private screening. Yeah. So, man, it was a great doc, man. I'm glad my family was there to help in not only being in the but getting a chance to see the full body of work from what my boy Blevins put together.
Yeah, Michael Blevins of Grind City Media. You can check that out on YouTube, the Grind City Media page. As you were going through those interviews, what was that interview process to kind of tease out a lot of the stuff that ends up being in the documentary? And then what was it like to, do some traveling for it as well? I know you went back to your hometown, Chicago.
Yeah, like going back to Chicago really was a highlight, man, because I got a chance to relive some of those moments. Like I said in the doc, man, a lot of people who I was around when I was going left really couldn't believe how I got right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, traveling down that old memory lane, it's like, damn, how the hell you did it? And when I go back and I see some of those people, who doing the same thing, and it's like, yo, I made the right decision, because I'm able to provide for my family. I'm able to, put my kids through school. I put my sisters through school, things of that nature. Got my mother out that neighborhood, and just understanding that, my story can be a motivation to somebody else who's trying to figure it out. Some young cat who probably torn in between the two, who probably, in that environment where it's like, yo, I probably can't make it out. Well, I want to be the first one to let you know, man, that all hard grit and grind mentality, it started way back then. It started back when my mama was going to work, and then at night she'd go to school, finishing up, getting her degree, getting her bachelor's, then pushing it even further, going to get her master's, and still not having an excuse. That instilled me to even go hard.
Yeah.
And we lived in housing authority, the projects. So now if my mama didn't get no excuse, tough as I am, I gotta push through. You feel what I'm saying? So just watching that doc, man, like I said, whoever ain't watched it, check it out. And going back home, like I say, that was heartfelt because I saw people that that actually took care of me too.
Yeah. So in that doc, you talk about there's one moment where it's like the community mom. I forget what her name was in the documentary.
Pud.
Yeah, Pud comes through. You see her. She's still in that same crib.
Yeah.
But that was somebody who took care of you. And throughout kind of that childhood college portion of the documentary, it talks a lot about just people who stepped in and kind of helped you get to where you wanted to go. And kind of put you back on straight and narrow a couple of times. Who would you say was the person who influenced you the most, maybe besides your mom?
Oh man, I would have to say Coach Sip.
Coach Sip.
Coach Sip, I ain't gonna lie, because when I got out of junior college, it was like, yo, the only person that saw the belief in me being a pro was Coach Sip. And I was like, yo, you really think I'm pro? He was like, you a pro. Even when at times I would doubt myself. Yeah. It was like, damn, I got two options. Either I make it or I'm going back to my old neighborhood. And I know I don't want to go back to that. And so with him keeping me motivated and, making sure I get these books and studies together and making sure I graduate for, my mom could be happy and follow that path, I think I have to give him his flowers.
Yeah. So Coach Sip got you to junior college and then helped you get to Oklahoma State. Really kind of important person in your life.
Father figure.
Father figure.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Another part of the documentary that really stood out to me was community service, just being in town amongst kids, amongst people who maybe don't have it the same way you did. And then at the same time, also there was a few scenes in there of you speaking to inmates or juvenile inmates. And I just kind of wondered, at what point did that become something that was really, on your heart, or was it always that way, trying to get people back on track?
Yeah, it's always been that way, man. Whenever you're fortunate enough to take advantage of those type of situations, whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, or just doing a community event just to bring in the community together, you want to take advantage of it. Because I look back at myself, I look back how my environment was. I know that environment. You know what I'm saying? I'm from that type of come up. So when I get the opportunity to come show my face or put a smile on somebody's face or help get toys, that's what I'm about, man. That's just what I am, man. I didn't never see no NBA players come back besides Juwan Howard putting the basketball court in front of my crib. That was the only one. I wanted Michael Jordan to come. I wanted Scottie and them to come. They was winning championships in my town. It'd have been great for them to come pass out toys and turkeys and things, but they didn't do it. Not saying now that it ain't a reason why I shouldn't, because they not from where I'm from.
Right.
So it's on me to go ahead and change that narrative. It's on me to go back and get hope. And that's what I do, man, even till this day, man. From Maine to Spain to China, Carolina. If it's a hood near you, TA gonna be there.
All heart, grit and grind.
All heart, grit and grind, baby.
Switching gears just a little bit more on the basketball side of things.
Okay.
When you first got into the league, and really maybe more in your college days as well, it said you were more offensive minded.
Oh man.
What switched you to be more of a defensive stopper and a defensive guy?
Well,
because you're first team all defense.
For sure, I'm first team all defense, man. And I got to give a lot of those kudos to rest in peace to the late great Eddie Sutton. When I was in college, he always admired, me getting to the basket, me being just a scorer. And he always used to say, you know what? If you don't if you don't know how to defend the ball on the other end, you won't get to be able to play in the league. I was like, what? And so ever since then, when he told me that, it was like whatever matchup that I had in conference or whoever we played in the tournaments going forward, it was like my duty was to shut down that man.
Yeah.
Like I could play both ends of the court. That's how I'm gonna show the scouts that I can lock down. And it shifted like when I got to the league and I tore my ACL.
Right.
Because pre-ACL, it's a little stint where I was averaging at least about a good 18, 19 points a game, showing the people that, I can actually get busy.
Right.
And once I tore my ACL, bro, it was like, oh man, how do I survive in this league? And it was then Doc Rivers said, you know what, I see a 10-year career in you. I'm like, what do you mean? I just tore my ACL. He was like, you need to be doing what Paul Pierce, Ray Allen is not doing. I said, what they not doing? He said, they not playing no defense. Now, if you lock in on the defensive end, you can have you a 10-year career. And I keyed in and put all my strengths in eating right, getting to that weight room, strengthening my body, being conditioned, getting on that treadmill, whether it's the treadmill bike or just running around the court, just having that stamina to compete on that end of the court, because that's what they needed me at. And it was like, yo, these guys making $20, $25 million a year. In order for me to finish out a 10-year career, I got to focus in on the defensive end, and that's where it shifted.
For sure. I mean, and it certainly translated when you got over to the Grizzlies. You became more of that defensive stopper. And that is kind of what's interesting about your jersey retirement is when you think about it that way, a lot of times it's, especially on basketball side of things, it's the guy who scored the most points, right? It's the guy who's, maybe leading you to championships and stuff like that. And you did that. You were a leader, but just in a very much different way. Why do you think that was something that really stuck with the city of Memphis?
I mean, I think it stuck simply because I couldn't take no plays off. It was like I valued each possession. I valued paying attention to detail. I valued change our mindset. Let's change our mindset. And if they can see me giving it 110%, it's going to be a snowball effect amongst the whole locker room. Yeah. I mean, everybody going to have to get on that level of intensity. And it was like I was wired to do that. Like I say, leaving 2009, 2010 playoffs, playing against Kobe Bryant, one of the late greats, rest in peace to Bean, Michael Jordan in my eyes. Having to have that much attention to detail through each possession, I wanted to carry that same mindset in Memphis. And shout out to Chris Wallace as well. Chris Wallace saw that belief. Chris Wallace called me personally and told me, he was like, yo, are you going to be able to play with Zebo? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be able to play with Zebo. That's my man. He's like, okay, I was just wondering. And he was like, I saw you in the 2009, 2010 playoffs playing against Kobe. He's like, you mind bringing that same type of energy down here to Memphis? He said, because late in games, you see big guards put us in the post, and they go through their post, through their guards, and they post up our guards and score and win games. I say, well, you won't be having that problem. Where do I sign? And from that point on, I told Chris Wallace, man, I'm here to play. Yeah. I'm here to give y'all that same type of intensity.
And in that documentary, there's a couple of scenes, a couple of games that really get highlighted. They talk about, that first game playing KD. They talk about the Warriors series as well, and you locking down Klay Thompson. And then just looking at all the All-Stars, the really great scorers. You talked about Hall of Famers. You talked about peers giving you your flowers. Was there anybody in particular that really stood out to you that you're like, wow, and I'm shocked that this person kind of took time to show me love this way?
Anybody, it would be Klay Thompson.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because I tried making his life a living hell. Yeah. I honestly focused
and you did for a couple of games.
I focused on trying to lock him down as if he was Kobe Bryant. And I did that specifically because, at the time, they was calling those guys the Splash Brothers, the best duo in history to ever pick up a basketball. You should have saw the praise he was getting. It was at one point like, yo, I can't even watch First Take. I can't even watch ESPN anymore. He getting so much hype. And the guy was averaging like 27 points a game leading into that series. And it was like, yo, there's no way he's finna average no 27 points on me. And when I studied this game, what I studied was the way he handled the ball was a little too loose for me. You know what I mean? He could shoot it, and I could stay with him, as long as I could stay with him.
He ain't handle for real. That's what you was thinking. So you can say it. You can say it. I say it. He ain't handle for real. Right?
I was going at his handle. And so much to that it was like, yo, if he get any open shots, then I'm a dead man. So what I got to do is pretty much boxing one. I'm a boxing one this shooter. I'm going to go against all our defensive principles. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do our defensive principles, but I'm a tag early so I could get back on time. And so within that offense that they ran, they do a lot of pick and roll. And they force the weak side to help on the road. This is basketball terminology.
Yeah.
They force
You're going to lose some people, but I'm with you.
Right. They force the backside to pull in to catch the roll, but it's really opening up a wide open shot for Klay Thompson. So what I learned was I said, you know what? I'm going to act like I'm a tag. but I'm going to stay with Klay Thompson. So I got a lot of steals in that series simply because knowing how he gets his points through that offense. And, man, I can see his face so frustrated. And, you know, it would be times where I'd be like, yo, this guy probably want to punch me right now. But I studied him that much to know, like, yo, I'm shutting you down. And so just to see him on a podcast, giving me my flowers, acknowledging that moment, acknowledging that series, and acknowledging my body of work, man, it kind of surprised me.
For sure. And for everybody who is just listening out there, especially the young cats, what you're hearing is details. Details are important. Making sure you study is important. We'll transition just a little bit. You have since retired, and your jersey retirement for the Grizzlies will be on Saturday after the Miami Heat game. In your retirement years now, you've moved more into the media space. You know, you're kind of a guy like me now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, doing your podcast. You started the Out the Mud podcast with your boy Zebo, Zach Randolph. What made you want to get going with that, and what inspired that idea?
Well, we had been talking about it for a while, you know, but we just didn't know what angle we was gonna come in. We was trying to figure out a name, and just trying to figure out how we want our podcast to be. And I flat out told him, like, bro, we won't make ours as real as possible. We want to be as down to earth to the people as possible. We want to reach out to the people that, you know, people that we can relate to, and people that need to get their flowers. And that's what it's all about, us letting the guys come on our platform, tell a story, change the narrative on what a lot of people has been saying about these people, or highlight some of the greats, the great moments in their life. You know what I mean? And once I've noticed about us being in this, what I've noticed about us being in this space is everybody's journey's different. And it's so interesting, man, just to hear, like even the Penny Hardaway, I'm not sure if you saw the Penny Hardaway. I didn't know Penny got shot. I didn't know he got shot in his foot, and it broke then in 4 bones in his toe.
And you can relate.
And I'm like, yo, that's wild. And just to see guys open up and tell more, elaborate more about how their journey was, because everybody's journey is different. You know, a lot of people think we just, boom, out the blue, we there in the league. No, some people had real hurdles to jump over, and I like hearing those stories, man. Each time we get a chance to get on that platform, man, I bring the best out of it.
Yeah, for sure. So you've had a lot of guests thus far. Some that a lot of people are gonna immediately recognize. You know, you've had your KDs on there, your Jaren Jackson Juniors, Udonis Haslem has been on there. But there's also guys who, like, especially if you watch basketball, you'll know that guy. Like, oh, Darius Miles was on there, Al Harrington was on there, Raymond Felton, guys like that. Have you had a favorite guest, or has a guest brought you a story that really, really stood out to you and sticks with you?
Honestly, all the story sticks out, man. I like everybody's story, man, honestly, man, because, like I said, looking back at how I got there is way different than a lot of these guys got there. A lot of these guys were McDonald's All-Americans. And at the time, I didn't even know what the hell McDonald's All-American was, and I didn't even know how you even get there. You get what I'm saying? And shit, all I knew, I was probably signed up for the Burger King All-American game. Man, I don't know. I wouldn't
have it your way, right? Well, you're not letting nobody have it your way because you're first team all defense.
Exactly. So, and just to hear the processes and the journeys that they took, man, just understanding that they would rank. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but we interviewed Thaddeus Young, and he was telling us, like, yo, once I became #1, he was like, before I came #1 in the nation, he was like, I was hunting guys down. If you was ranked ahead of me, I couldn't wait to catch you in some type of camp and bust you up. I'm like, yo, quiet as Thaddeus Young is. Bro, you had that mindset?
Right.
And
it comes out more in a platform like that than it will ever in a press conference.
You see what I'm saying? Because he gonna be, how you doing? Yes, indeed. You know, he probably give you that, right?
Yeah, that's how y'all talk to us, man.
He probably give you that, but in his mentality and getting to where he was at and playing a 17, 18-year career, he had to have that mentality, like, I'm here to seek and destroy. We are not friends. I'm coming here to bust your ass, and that's that. You get what I'm saying? So I always look at cats like that, and I'll be like, wow, I didn't even know that about him. And so, like I say, every guest that come on, man, is different, and they got a story to tell, and I love it.
For sure. Are there similarities between hosting and hooping? Because I know those are hooping certainly one of your great loves, and now this is something you're throwing your energy into.
I could find one similarity. One similarity is, like I say, watching film, doing your homework. You know, before a lot of games, they give you They give you a tendency sheet. He like going right 60% of the time. Once he goes left and pull up 30% of the time. And this is analytic stuff too. So when he's on the right side, he's shooting 80% from the corner. When he's in the left side of the corner, he's shooting 50% from the corner. Top of the key, he's like a red. They'll put a green right there. That means he's over 80% shooting from up top. And you see this stuff, and you read this right before the game. So when you get in the game, you'll know, okay, I got to be more aggressive in this area. I can shade light in this area simply because he's not that effective in this area. But if he get on this side of the court, he's lights out.
Yep.
And when you get to these interviews, right, they give you a resume of what they've accomplished and, what they, the highlights, the lowlights, things of that nature. And it's time for you to be knowledgeable in that when you got your guests on, so you could ask some great questions and so get them to open up and elaborate. So that was one of the things that I've noticed, because when we first did it, our first episode, we were a little shy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So and now we've opened up by doing our homework, and the job is real easy.
Talk about a little bit of homework as I'm getting to know you, right, through this documentary and through my own searches. Come to find out that you and Derrick Rose are actually really close friends. You guys' families are very tight.
Yep.
His son PJ was actually at your documentary screening, and Rose's kids. How have you guys gotten to know each other, and where did that relationship start?
Well, it started way before I knew it. Like I didn't. My brother was telling me about him, but at the time I was so in my own world, being in the league, and I'm like, I'm in the league. Who's this high school kid you keep talking about?
Right.
He like, he going to the league.
And both of y'all are from Chicago, for those that don't know.
We both from Chicago, Illinois, Chi-Town, stand up. And my brother used to always tell me, like, I got my homeboy, bro. He gonna be in the league soon, bro. He might go out of high school. I'm like, how tall he is? He like 6'1" right now, but he going, bro. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that. And so at this time, it was like, all right, my brother keeps saying it. Now I'm hearing it in the local gyms. I'm hearing it at, all where the hoopla is at. And then, I would leave my cars there. You know what I'm saying? I leave my Benz, I leave my Range Rover, whatever, and I go back to Boston. It's cold in Boston, so I had to have a Denali or something in Boston. And my cars used to be at home, and my brother used to go pick up Derrick, hang out, they riding, they going to the movies together, they doing everything that they, kid stuff.
Right.
And I didn't know at the time that was motivating him to say, you know what? I'm gonna give me one of these. I'm getting to the league. Yeah, I was motivating him and didn't even know it. And I remember this incident happened one day. I was on the west side of Chicago, me and my homeboy, Dirty. And my homeboy Dirty from South Side. And I'm on the west side with one of my other good partners. And they was talking about who the better, Patrick Beverly or Derrick Rose. And my homeboy, he from the south side. Now, imagine we on the west side of Chicago. Sure. They love Patrick Beverly. Man, look.
Yeah.
It's Patrick Beverly or nothing. And my boy busts out say, man, nah, he ain't better than Derrick Rose.
Some fighting words.
I'm like, I look back, I say, bro, what is you talking about? Just roll with the flow. We on the west side. Let's honor the west side people, bro.
Right.
He like, hell no, Derrick Rose the one. And I'm like, what? So we get back in the car, and I tell him, I said, man, who the hell is Derrick Rose? What you keep talking about this Derrick Rose dude for? He was like, T.A., he like that. And so he like, man, he your little brother, man. That's your brother, man. I'm like, oh, that's who my little brother been talking about.
Okay.
And so at the time, I'm like, okay, cool, that's what's going on. But I didn't know I had a front row seat of playing him in the playoffs as rookie year. So I'm like, oh, #1 pick, Derrick Rose. That's who this is.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and so within the time, and us, me finding that out, I would always see him, come back home summertime, spend our time together, hang out, kick it or whatever. And over the years, like I say, we grew a great friendship. You know what I'm saying? He's been there with me, through thick and thin. So that's my boy, man. Big shout out to D-Rose.
Very cool, very cool. Cool to see how y'all's Chicago connections kind of end up in Memphis.
Yeah.
How all that ties together.
And another thing I want to add, too, was that, all through my career, I ain't wear nothing but Derrick Rose shoes.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like, when I got to Memphis, rather, my whole stint in Memphis was Derrick Rose.
You was an Adidas athlete. Yeah.
The D's used to be calling me like, man, where the hell did you get that
You get
colorway from?
the player editions, man.
But what I would do is, look, this is what I do. I go on myadidas.com where you can make your own color shoe.
Right.
Man, I had so many colorways on there. Hey, the Adidas finding the hell out of me. Like, man, you can't wear them. You got to wear the shoes we sent you, man. I'm not wearing nothing but D Roses, man.
That's so funny. I remember I used to customize Kobe's like that. Same way I had a pair in middle school. I remember Kobe 4s, man. Let's switch gears just a little bit, TA. Let's get up to speed on what the Grizzlies got going on right now, because we've been talking a lot about the past. Last night, taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, second game of the 2-game road trip. Grizzlies had to battle back from 14 down to the depleted Pelicans. Did it mostly on the backs of their backcourt. Ja Morant, Desmond Bane each go for 30-plus points. They combined for 62 total and 14 assists. Outduel the Pelicans without C.J. McCollum or Zion Williamson. They get the win 107-104. TA, I know you've seen a lot of basketball in your career, and I know you've had a chance to see these young guys up close. What has kind of been your thoughts on what the Grizzlies have become, in this new era?
Man, they must see TV. You can look at guys. Let's talk about their big three. Their big three, starting with the head of the snake, and that's Ja Morant. We don't go unless he's at his top-notch performance type play. We know what that is. That's highlight dunks. That's getting everyone involved. That's controlling the pace and attacking that rim. That's why I like to see him. A lot of people always want to say he needs to shoot threes, he needs to shoot more threes. Yeah, that'll be another attribute to his game, but he puts so much pressure on that defense when he in transition and they getting that rebound and they pushing, and he going as he going. We all know that. That's Ja Morant, must-see TV. Then you look at a guy like Bane. I like Bane when he's in those pick and roll those dribble handoff positions and putting the pressure, going downhill. The guards go under, he popping for the three. His catch and shoot game is like a layup. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And Jaren, he's been healthy all year. He's been durable all year, minus the injury he's facing right now. But he's been an all-star stud this year. Been playing on both ends, on the defensive end. I like the way they clicking, but they're number 2 in the West right now. It speaks for itself. They were number 2, they're 4 now.
They're 4th right now.
But all year long, you could tell that Jaren has been carrying the weight. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think now, like, okay, he's up for contract, he's up for Defensive Player of the Year, he possibly could get $345 million, which is well deserved. But back to the basketball aspect, I think whenever they're clicking together, they're a big team. And they've been playing together for a while now. It's time for them to make some noise, get out the second round. I'm thinking Western Conference Finals, hell, let's go to the finals.
Hear that?
If we could get those guys, if we get a game where all those guys clicking at one speed, Ja 25 and 10, a Jaren 25 and 5 blocks, and a Bane with a 30 and 3.
Bane with a 30-piece. I hear you.
You get what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I think when we got our big three collectively moving on one accord, I think we hard to beat. I think there's no team we can't beat.
Yep.
As long as they're clicking on the same page. But, man, just to put everything in a nutshell, those guys have been exceptionally exciting to watch. And I'm thinking if we could just stay healthy, man, if we could just click at the right time, we can win 16 games.
How does a big three like that find its rhythm? I know you guys were the core 4, you, Zebo, Gasol, Mike Conley. How does a big three find their way and really gel in the context of still, 2 other guys on the floor and, the context of a full roster?
Well, they got to play together. They don't got too many games.
Yeah, they haven't had too many games together. That's fair.
They ain't had too many games together. And when you look at guys like that are so talented, I mean, you got to give Coach Jenkins his props, man, because he worked with what he got, man, playing I want to say a 13-man rotation, which will probably get shortened down in the season. But I just think they gotta get more games under their belt. And with 18 games left of the season, I think we got to try to do our best with trying to, work with what we got. But, man, we could be deadly. And I think our roster's set up for us to plug and play. Like, you got guys like Jalen Wells. Jalen Wells, I believe, who is probably arguably Rookie of the Year if it weren't for Stephon Castle. But
that boy hooping.
Yeah, that
both of them hooping.
Both of them hooping. And that's what I'm saying. But you got guys like Jalen Wells who could plug and play. We waiting on Gigi Jackson to get back healthy. He showed so much from last year.
Yeah,
and then coming into this year, we looking for him to get back from the injury he had. And then you got other guys that have been key pieces for us. Huff, I like the way Huff, although he hasn't been playing that much as of late. But, you know, you got guys like Santonio Aldama. Did I say his name right?
Santi.
Santi.
Santi Aldama.
Santi Aldama. You know, he's a wild card. And like I say, man, the organization did a great job of putting this roster together. And sky's the limit if we can be healthy.
Yeah, we talk a lot of times. We talk about just this team, how deep they are, and how hard depth is to get, especially for playoff teams. We got the highlights on right now, but you talk about first team all defense, guys who can really scrap and claw, and that's how you made your money in the NBA. Vince Williams Jr. and Jalen Wells. What do you think about their games on the defensive end? And you know, what have you been able to observe about them that you like? And have you been able to talk to them at all, just about, you know, the little intricacies of the game?
I'm looking forward to, we could say I'm looking forward to getting next to those guys and, you know, giving them a little insight. But more so importantly, with those guys, I think they got a knack for competing. They want to come out there and play hard on both ends. What I like about Vincent and Jalen is they shoot the ball pretty well from three. And once you can spread the floor and come in and key in on your man and lock down, I think you always going to be able to get on that floor. As you can see, we traded Marcus Smart. We got a defensive player of the year up out of here just because of the efforts of Jalen Wells and the faith that we have in Vincent Williams. But more so to look at the rookie that started almost, I want to say over 50-some games now, that's impressive. For you to come in and get that much experience early on, I mean, it's only gonna make him a beast moving forward. And I seen him a few games where he like pick up full court. It ain't too many cats picking up full court. Soon as you get the ball in, man, I done seen it plenty of times where he just like went straight to his man right after the score. And, you know, being disruptive. And that's the part where they're going to have to continue to be for the Grizzlies as we move forward in this season.
Yeah, Jalen, Scotty, and Vince Williams all love their full court defense. You mentioned the experience that Jalen's been able to get as a rookie. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know if we can go into the playoffs with two rookies in the starting lineup. What's your thoughts on that? Big sip. Big sip.
Hey, the one thing about the naysayers, they always gonna have something to say about Memphis. And I've noticed that playing in my career, you know, with the Grizzlies, like everybody gonna doubt us. But what he's done all year has been consistent. I've seen games where, you know, guys might score a bunch of buckets, but guess what? He gonna come back that next possession and giving you that same 110% on the defensive end. He understands what the team needs of him. He don't do anything ill-advised. You can't really speed him up. He's playing his role. He's passing it to the open man. He's cutting. He's getting offensive rebounds. And then when everybody run out of real estate, we're trying to get into the hole and the lane collapse, Jalen has been doing a great job of knocking down that long ball. So as long as he can play his role, stay solid, stay out of foul trouble, and understand that, hey, I'm not going to get as many calls. Maybe a lot of calls are going to be getting called on me because I am a rookie. Hey, I'm going to still come out and compete, and that's what I love what he's been doing all year long.
Jalen Wells competes. The Memphis Grizzlies certainly compete. And one guy who knows all about competing is this man right here, Tony Allen, Mr. First team all defense himself, the Grindfather. Appreciate you being on the show today, man. Looking forward to your jersey retirement. That'll be on Saturday after the Grizzlies Miami Heat game in FedEx Forum. We will give one up for the Grindfather. So got to give you your applause, man. Got to give you your flowers because you certainly deserved it. Appreciate you being on the show.
Much love, bro.
All right.